There's more! I'm back! CGI shit!
I rest my case.
It was fucking horrible!
Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome back to another opening night. Again, I'm so sorry these things have been constantly delayed, but it's been a lot been happening, a few productions on our end now in September. But this time around, I've decided to talk about a little experience I had at Fan Expo 2024 this year. Now, con was okay, but Honey Bear and I did have a good time, but we were actually invited to a screening of an older film. This is an old opening night for you guys. And then, of course, being Street Fighter the movie from 1994, or 93. It was celebrating its 30th anniversary at this screening. And I had the absolute pleasure of being invited by none other than James Rolfe of Cinemassacre and Rex Viper, who made a surprise underground guest at Fan Expo. They weren't at the convention, but they were performing at the Rec Room, and they were hosting this screening of Street Fighter 2. And, well, not Street Fighter 2, but just Street Fighter the movie. Well, it's mostly based on Street Fighter 2. But, just thought I'd give you guys my thoughts on the film, my experience, and what went down. So, story-wise, before we get to the movie, was that James had actually been saying he'd been wanting to come to Toronto for a while, and had emailed me back and forth, and he invited me to this screening. They said, hey, they're going to screen the Street Fighter movie, you want to see it? And I'm like, you know, I've never seen it, believe it or not. This is actually my first time seeing it on the big screen, and surprisingly, so is James's. And me and Honey Bear, we did the first day at Fan Expo. We cosplayed amazingly as Zora and Elena, actually, which was really cool. And then we went down to this really old theater that was screening it called the Revenue Cinema, which was my first time going to this theater in Toronto. They're an old theater, and unfortunately they're kind of going through some financial stuff, which I'll leave a link down below to their theater if you guys want to donate and support them. They could really utilize it, because it is a glorious old theater, and it's like a one-screen theater, but it's old school, and it looks great. The popcorn's stellar, the food's great, and I overall really like this theater. I want to definitely go back someday. And when we got there, we saw there was a bit of a line, so I was like, alright, cool, James is probably not here yet. But then, of all people to show up, I had no idea he was here. Ricky! Yeah, you guys know Ricky, he's all over the internet. Bumped into him as well at this event, and was really, really nice, a really cool, rad guy. If you guys want to go ahead and follow Ricky, he's amazing, he's freaking hilarious, and one of the, like, coolest people I got to meet at Fan Expo this year. Ironically, I also bumped into Rob Paulson, who was at Union Station, and I was like, oh my god, Rob! So that was really cool as well. But then James showed up, and we talked for a bit, we caught up on things, it was a really good time. And then, just saw the Street Fighter movie, and oh, I've got some things to say about this film. It's going to be a short period of time because I do have a couple other projects I want to do, and I think I want to live stream after this. But to my point, what is the movie Street Fighter about? It's loosely based on the game's story. There's not really a tournament or anything of the sort. There is street fighting, but the plot is basically a G.I. Joe movie. M. Bison is essentially, like, trying to, of course, like, conquer this land, this nation, and you have this secret military faction led by Jean-Claude Van Damme, which look like a cross between G.I. Joe and Starship Troopers that are just trying to get to M. Bison's base and save the world from get the hostages out. Meanwhile, you have, like, other characters from the game, like Ryu and Ken, who are more like bantering comic buddy reliefs. You have, Giles in there. You have, what's the guy? Zangief, who's the Russian guy. He's a comedic sidekick. He's actually pretty faithful to the games. You have, so many others. Chung-Li. A lot of them are all represented in this. And it's kind of weird to describe the film. I will say this. Well, after watching it, and it's my first time seeing it, this is definitely the most batshit bonkers insane production that Universal has ever done. This is a Universal film. And what's so funny about it is that I think they only distributed it. I don't know if they actually financed the film. I think it was mostly Capcom. And it's so bizarre. It feels independent, but it feels like everybody on the set was having fun. And especially with their limitations of what they could with the film, it actually surprisingly is really good. I'm a casual Street Fighter fan. I have the games on Super Nintendo, and I think one on Genesis. I don't really play any of the new games. I played the arcades on occasion. But when it comes to being a fan, it's okay. I'm not big into fighting games. I mean, I like Mortal Kombat as well. But Street Fighter as a game is an interesting little piece for me. But the movies, I was actually my first Street Fighter movie was actually The Legend of Chun-Li. I saw that in theaters. Same year as Dragon Ball Evolution, and I kind of liked it at the time. I'm afraid to go back and watch it again. But this is a much better movie. I'm not gonna lie. It's weird how this movie is better.
That's great news, General. Congratulations. Okay.
And especially given the fact they've been trying to get a Street Fighter reboot off the ground. The last I heard was the guys, the Raka Raka brothers were going to direct it, and then they dropped out. It was with A24, and I'm like, damn it! That would have been great! But with this movie, it is pure 90s action adventure. A lot of vibes of the Super Mario Brothers movie at the time. It has a lot of the that echoings of that 90s video game adaptation. But this is one of the few at that period that actually managed to hold its own and surprisingly be very entertaining. Is it dumbingly entertainment? Yes. Is it insanely entertainment? Yes. Is it Street Fighter that we want? Not really, but as a film, it's just a fun action movie. Everybody is really great in this. Everybody feels like they're characters. You have Guile, who I think that's Jean-Claude Van Damme, which I'll bring him up first. He's sort of the driving force of the movie. Like, I think Jean-Claude Van Damme is a great action hero, a great action star. But I'm sorry, the man can't act.
You've lost your balls.
It's the accent. I don't get why he was basically being discount Arnold Schwarzenegger. But in this movie, this is actually also my first Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. I think he's very entertaining in this, despite, like, that Tommy Wiseau voice he puts on. I don't know if that's his real thing, but, like, it's goofy, and just watching it with James and Rick's Viper and a huge audience of people, we were laughing, we were cracking up, we were cheering. It was really entertaining. Like, it's weird how this year, entertainment-wise, I've been so blessed by having a really good audience to sit with. First Godzilla X Kong at the theater in Chicago, and now this. So it makes me think I gotta go to more of these screenings. Are really fun and entertaining. Like, this is how movies should be watched. They're great. They're really a good, fun time.
We can all go home. Bison is getting paid out for his crimes. And who wants to go with me?
I'm just gonna say it like everybody else. The guy who plays M. Bison, I don't really have his name on record in my head, is phenomenal. I am aware of the tragic passing he had before the movie, I think, came out. But this was like his final performance for his kids, and it's wonderful.
And all humanity shall bow to me in humble gratitude. That was beautiful.
This is a really, really good performance, and one of the best. Like, I don't think anybody's going to be able to if they end up getting another person to play M. Bison in the future, nothing's going to top this. This is amazing.
Bison, your ass is 6 months overdue, and it's fine.
To the point, it's just a fun, entertaining film. The action scenes are great, especially when you get to the third act. When it more becomes a Street Fighter movie crossed with like some sort of action film of the 90s, like you would see, it's like a stunt show. Like, I was thinking, great, where's the Universal Studios Street Fighter ride? I want to see that. But it was really fun, really entertaining, and yeah, there were moments, it's hokey, it's cheesy. My favorite joke is when they're looking at the security, the Bison's company, they're looking at the security of the heroes coming in, and was it, what's his name? Is it E. Honda or is it Zangief? Zangief's looking at the monitor, he's like, oh my god, that's horrible! Someone changed the channel! That's the kind of humor you're getting. It's very like early 90s non-Batman comic book feel to this, which I think is really funny, and it really adds to the film's flavor. This feels like a time capsule of early 90s entertainment, action movie, video game films. It's a product of its time. What else is there to talk about? The score is actually not bad. It feels like it's taking a lot from Masters of the Universe, but again, I don't mind that. And that's what it feels like. It feels like the Masters of the Universe movie with Dolph Lundgren as He-Man and Frank Langella as Skeletor. It feels much like that to a degree. It's weird there was a period of films that every adaptation had to look like that. So the score is pretty good in this. I didn't really catch anything from the games themselves, but yeah, it's an okay score, but I really got nothing else to say. I'll say one thing that was really funny. That during the screening, when Blanca finally is revealed, this built-up Frankenstein monster that you expect to be really, really cool, turns out to be kind of ridiculous looking, especially for 1994. I mean, fuck, Gorgo in Mortal Kombat, the movie, looked more intimidating. But here with Blanca, you know, they're building him up and finding ways to break him, and it's not dark, it's just really silly. It's very Tim Burton Batman-esque, and when he comes out, I literally turned to Honey Bear and I was like, oh my god, it's Lou Ferrigno as the Incredible Hulk, and she said, no, that's Carrot Top, and I'm like, I know my girl can rip a movie, but she can rip a movie. She had a really good time at this, too. She really had no clue what was going on, first and foremost, but as the movie got like more goofy and insane, she was said afterwards, like, I'm getting into this, I really love this, and I'm like, I know, it's like entertaining, it was my first time too, so really outside of that, that's really all I gotta say about the Street Fighter movie. It's a product of its time, and a damn good product of its time. It's great entertainment. I was very privileged and extremely thankful to have James Rolfe and Rex Viper invite me to the screening and to the Revenue Cinema. I applaud you guys, and I think their theater is wonderful. Again, I'll put a link down below if you guys want to go support them. But I really had a ball with this movie. So for me, the Street Fighter movie is a good 8 out of 10. This was a fun, entertaining film. Part of me wants to watch it again with a couple of friends, because this is a good time. I really do like the Street Fighter movie. But of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you think of Street Fighter the movie. Do you think it's a good adaptation? Do you think it's bad? Is it like so bad it's good? Is it just an entertaining film? Let me know. Support our Patreon just to learn more. We'll get you early access to all of our content as well as other special features. We have plans. We're doing a couple of film projects right now. The next Jurassic Park Legacy review is in post-production, and I'm having a really good time editing. But again, go check out the Street Fighter movie. Find it on DVD, find it on Blu-ray if you can, VHS if you want to, and I'll check you guys in later. So for now, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. BigJackFilms signing off, saying the meme.
Of course! To ingratiate his spies with you.
And I'm just gonna see myself out. Hadouken!